What I don't understand is why some people are like completely satisfied living life in absolute mediocrity. Like having no ambitions, no motivations, no nothing. Just working some kind of trash, worthless job and just somehow being satisfied with that. Like, one, I don't understand how you are okay with that. Just getting by, just barely getting by at that. I don't understand that. There's so much more to life that you should want to strive for. Like, I know they say money's the root of all evil and stuff, so I'm not saying, oh, yeah, you should just love money and try to be rich. But you know what? The more money you have, the easier your life is. You can go on vacations and, like, go to cool places. Even if it's just in the United States, you can still go on a vacation to somewhere cool in the States. If you don't have money, how are you supposed to do that? How are you going to go take a trip if you have no funds to get you there? You know, walk? I mean, chances are you can't even take a vacation if you're working some worthless job. How are you going to take a vacation at a job that doesn't offer you a vacation? Then if you do take a week off, then you're docked your pay for that week. So it's a lose-lose. You know, or the other thing I don't understand is, you know, how these people can survive off of mediocre jobs. You know, I think about these guys that I know that have always just kind of had like a super mediocre job. There's a guy I used to work with when I worked at McDonald's. A, during my college days, and then B, as a second job after I graduated college. And like, that was just his job. And I was like, you know I work here, but in both situations, it was like, A, when I was working there at college, I was like, I'm going to have a future though. Like, this is what I'm doing for now, just to pay for my books and stuff. I live at home with my parents. Like, I don't have a car payment. I had a basic phone during those days. It was like, you know, so this is okay for now. I wouldn't want to live like this forever. I mean, he was like a guy kind of in the real world. He had no prospects. He wasn't in college. He wasn't anything. This was his life. Just, oh, I'm going to work at McDonald's overnights. And during those days, McDonald's didn't even offer a pay differential like most places do. It was a franchise, and they didn't do that. You made the same across the board. So it's not even like, I mean, during those days, minimum wage was a lot less too. But it's not like he was making, 10 cents more or whatever for doing overnights. Like, he was bare bones, just whatever. I'm going to work a loser job. This is my life. Then he ended up leaving there, and he was at Walmart, which, ironically, I ended up at Walmart, too. It started as a second job idea, but then I ended up losing my main job temporarily. Well, I lost that job, but then I got back into my field, so that's what I meant by temporarily. But still, that's what I was there for. But, like, there he was. That's just his job. And it's like, I don't get this. Like, you make, like, $900 bi-weekly. How are you okay with this? When I had my other job, I mean, I wasn't making that much better. I was making only $1,300 bi-weekly, but that was also with child support. That was with contributions to a 401k. That was with, probably higher taxes because overall I was grossing more. Like, and when I was doing the $1,300, I wasn't satisfied with that. I thought it was pretty mediocre and wanted to get more. I mean, that was $1,300 bi-weekly. You know what I mean? So that's like $650 a week. And that's why I was working two jobs to try to make up the difference, make a little bit more. Here he was pulling, $900 bi-weekly or something, and just totally okay with it. Yep, this is what I do. I don't have any prospects for life. I'm just gonna coast and barely get by. I don't get it. When people don't have any ambitions. Like, it's one thing if you do, I'm not saying everybody has to go to college and stuff. If you end up working at like a quote-unquote loser job, that's fine. Everyone's got to do it. Otherwise, half these businesses actually more than half the businesses wouldn't be open. You know what I mean? If everybody was like, oh, working at Target, that's a loser job. Walmart, that's a loser job. McDonald's, that's a loser job. Then there'd be no businesses with no staff at them. So yeah, you've got to do it. But have some ambition. At least be like, you know what? I work at McDonald's, but I plan on trying to work my way up to at least be a store manager. And then maybe if you actually do reach that goal and you're a store manager, try to go up from there. Hey, you know what? I'm a store manager. I want to be a district manager someday. I mean, geez, back in, when was this? Probably 2012, 2013, somewhere in that range. Our district manager, he only ran 4 stores, and he was making $1,200 a week take home. Okay, so there's potential. You can make some pretty decent money just working for McDonald's. You just have to have that ambition, that motivation, and get there. Don't just be like, yep, I'm going to work in the grill, and that's it. I'm going to get a job at McDonald's and make burgers. That's my whole entire life. I'm going to do that for 40 years and then retire. Like, what? I don't understand this. And there's so many people that I know, like, at my job is it rips people off. The people in the plant only make minimum wage, and I think that is ridiculous. Like, some positions, fine. If you're like inspect and pack, your job's pretty simple. You're just sitting there looking at parts, blowing them off with the air, and then you box them up. Like, okay, if you're making minimum, you're not working hard. Your job takes no skill at all. Literally, you just need to look at something, blow some air on it, and put it in a box. And the boxes are pretty self-explanatory how it's going to work, because A, when you get the box, actually, no, you're taking parts out of a container. So never mind, I was going to say, when you get the parts, they're already boxed. You're basically just reboxing them. So all you got to do is, if everything fits, then you did it right. But no, that's a different department. But still, regardless, there's partitions, which means that there's like spaces for where the parts are supposed to go and stuff. So it's like a no-brainer. You don't have to think, oh, is this enough in this box? You know if it's enough. Are all your spaces filled? Okay, it's enough. So yeah, if they make minimum wage, okay, it's pretty basic. You're sitting in a chair all day, blowing parts off, putting them in a box. No big deal. When you need more parts too, you don't even have to go get your parts. You tell somebody, and then one of the I don't know what they're called, whatever the position's called, one of the guys goes and he'll go get you a new bin full of parts, hook it up to your rig so it can dump it into your hopper, and then you just keep going. Like, you don't even have to get out of your chair to do that. You have someone do it for you. So yeah, maybe something like that makes minimum, but some of these departments just seems weird that they just make minimum. Like, there's one department we have that's very, very dangerous. It involves a lot of very high temperatures and high pressures. I mean, we had an incident where a employee got severely injured from that machine. It came down on his hand, got severely injured. And, I mean, granted, it was his fault. What he did, he was not supposed to do. A, I'm pretty sure there's something on the machine that said not to do what he was doing, and he still did it. So, and B, there's also the employee manual that I'm pretty sure also has that in there for, like, safety protocols. And you signed the thing, which means, whether he read it or not, he still signed it, which means that he is an acknowledgement of that procedure that he chose not to follow. But regardless, it is dangerous, it is hot, it is very dirty. It's not dirty in the traditional sense like oil and stuff. It's just dirty in the sense of, like, there's a lot of powdery stuff that floats in the air. So, like, all the guys out there, their clothes are filthy all the time because that stuff settles on you. It settles on everything. So if you bump up on something, your clothes are filthy. Like, when I go out there, I'm from the office, so I'm dressed up in business casual, and I hate when I go out there because I'm like, oh, man, I don't want anything to get on my clothes. Especially if I'm wearing a white shirt, I'm like, oh, great. My luck, I'm going to have a black smear on my shirt now because of the dirty curtains or something that brush up on me. But yeah, so anyways, you'd think just because all things considered, they would make a little bit better, but they don't. They just make minimum, and that always just seems so weird. But regardless, all I'm trying to get at is, even those people, I see them out there and I'm like, obviously somebody has to do this because otherwise our business would fail. We wouldn't have any staff to do anything for us. But I'm like, I don't get it. Why are these people okay with this? Why are you okay just making minimum? Okay, this is where I'll work. In summer, I'll profusely sweat all day and I'll be filthy and I'll run the risk of injuring myself severely because of a hot machine. But hey, minimum wage, at least I have a job. Like, are you that desperate that you can't find anything better? I don't know. Anyways, this is all just a huge preamble because I just wanted to talk about an actual lifelong loser that I do know and just kind of rant about him and just talk about him. So basically what he is he's some guy that is affiliated with my mom. I don't even know what to call it because she doesn't even know what to call their situation. I wouldn't really say he's her boyfriend because I don't think she would even have ever said that about him. But at the same time, they are kind of close. They do live together. I almost feel like they're friends with benefits, but not in the traditional sense of what that normally means. I think they're friends with benefits in a more mature sense, meaning like her benefit from him is she has companionship. She has somebody in the house with her, so she's not just home alone. She also has somebody to help her out with things, like when she goes to do laundry or take out the dogs or whatever. And in return, what he gets as a benefit is he has like a home and he has someone that can kind of take care of him, do his laundry, give him a fresh, clean bed to sleep in and all this. And I say give him a home because it's kind of weird, but prior to my mom, I guess hooking up with him, I don't know what the word is, but he was basically homeless. He wasn't, but for all intents and purposes, he was. Like, you saw him roaming around the streets all day, every day. It didn't matter what the weather was, what the temperature was. You'd see him just roaming around the streets. He basically was homeless. He did have a place to stay, like I said, so he technically wasn't homeless, but it was almost like it was just somewhere for him to crash and sleep at night. Unless that's how he chose to live. I don't know. Maybe they wanted him there more, but he didn't choose to do that. I don't know. But for all intents and purposes, from how he looked, he was homeless. So that's why I'm saying, like, the benefit for him is he has a place to be. My mom lets him live with her. And that's much better than just being basically homeless. But anyways, this guy is just an absolute total loser. And it always has made me kind of frustrated that my mom's with him. Because I'm like, why would you choose this? I mean, A, he doesn't have a car. B, he doesn't have a license. Why am I saying A and B? The list is too long. I'll end up at double Z. So he doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a license. Like I said, he was basically homeless. So he doesn't have his own home. Didn't have his own home. Didn't have an apartment. He was rooming with somebody. I don't know what this lady was. He was rooming with a lady. I don't know what she was. I don't know if she was like a girlfriend, if she was just a friend of a friend. I don't know. But that's what it was. He was living with some lady or sleeping at some lady's place, whatever the situation was there. But, you know, he doesn't have a good job. Never really did have a good job as far as I know. I mean, now he just works at McDonald's. And at that, he doesn't even get full time. He works 3 days a week for 4-hour shifts. He does like 6 to 10, 3 days a week. I think recently, actually, he's been getting 5 days a week. So he's been doing 6 to 10, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. But otherwise, before that, it was like 2-3 days a week he was working. Which, as a side note, that's not really his fault. He didn't offer to only do a little bit of hours. He does want full days. He'd rather do 6 to 2, Monday through Friday. But the way McDonald's works, I mean, you should already know if you've ever worked at a place like this, you know, they kind of play favoritism. And since they're all kids and he's like a 62-year-old guy, you know, they don't have any favoritism towards him. They don't care about him. They care about all their other dumb little friends and all the kids just being together. And it's a dumb situation. And I think it's wrong. I mean, I feel like adults, if they're going to have a job, should get the priority, not dumb friends and dumb kids and stuff like that. You know, the adults are the ones in the real world. They need the money the most, not some stupid kid who's just in college. Yeah, I mean, I was a stupid kid in college too and worked full time. But I was kind of a little bit more serious. You know, I always had a vision for myself. I've never been partying. I've never tried drugs. I've never been drunk. Never did any of that dumb stuff because I've always had a vision for my future. And I still have more of a vision for my still current future. I've never given up on having future visions. You know, I'm at a good spot now, but I still see more in the future. So anyways, giving me hours was fine, you know, because I was serious. I was a good employee, I was good with the customers, and I was a serious person. I'm not just some dumb kid who's just there to dick around like a lot of them do. You know, now you go to McDonald's, you see so many idiots stand around just talking, and it's like, where's the work ethic? Geez, my day, you were wiping something, you were clean, you're in the lobby cleaning the tables, or you were changing the trash, or sweeping, or wiping something in the back, or stocking something. Now they just stand around talking. And now it's even worse too with phones. Now they're not even just talking, they're on their phone. At least when I worked in those places, phones were kind of more basic. It was just like a text thing. Now they're watching TikTok, or they're making TikToks, or, you know, speaking of that, on TikTok live, I see all the time people that like set their phones up above sandwich station to like do a live of them working and making sandwiches. And it's like, this is so dumb. What the heck has our society come to? Oh yeah, let me just broadcast this. Look at me, I'm making sandwiches at McDonald's. I'm so cool. Duh. Cool. So you're doing something that millions of other people have done. Wow, what a great live. What's even dumber is he's not even talking because he's there to work. So it's like he's working silently making the sandwiches, and that's all you see is just his hands and the bread. And it's such a dumb live. I mean, it's not like I seem like I know a lot about it. That's not the case. I came across it, and then I was like, what the F is this? And I watched it for about 5 seconds and was like, seriously? And then skipped off. But, you know, that 5 seconds was enough to give me a general idea of what's going on. But anyways, so yeah, I do think it's stupid that he only gets the little bit of hours he gets, because that's not how it should work. They should be hooking him up. He's an adult man in the real world. Like, he needs the money more than some stupid kid or your dumb best friend that you just want to work with. Not even work, stand there and talk with all shift. But regardless, if he had more ambition in life, instead of choosing a path of being an absolute loser, then he would have a good job. He wouldn't have a high schooler's job. He wouldn't have to worry about not being in the clique, or whatever you want to say, where you can get hours because you're friends with the other managers or whatever. Because he'd have a real job, and he'd be able to retire soon, given his age. But yeah, and to top things off, not only is he an absolute loser with his life and the choices that he hasn't made, let's say, but he's also a raging alcoholic, or I don't know if you want to call it raging alcoholic. Usually when I think of raging alcoholic, I think of someone that like drinks mass quantities. He's an alcoholic in the sense that he drinks nips. So he won't eat, he has an empty stomach, and he goes and cracks open like 5 nips, downs them, and then he's wasted. Because, nips are, I guess they're strong, right? I don't really know. I don't drink, so I don't know what the alcohol per volume is, but it's got to be something strong. And when you don't have any food in your stomach, obviously it's just going to hit you right away. There's nothing to absorb it. And that's what it does to him. Cracks him open one after another. Just cracks him, boom, 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 boom. And then he's like wasted. So he's an alcoholic like that for quick alcoholism, I guess. And he smokes, meaning cigarettes. So, I mean, that's an average thing that everybody does. But still, it just adds to the loserness. Like, you achieve nothing in life, you smoke, you're an alcoholic. And he enjoys marijuana-laced products. His product of choice is he buys this chocolate bar from somebody at McDonald's. Which, of course, the McDonald's, the loser central. So, of course, there's going to be people there selling that crap. And that's what he likes to eat. So, yeah. And it's just like, I always think about that with him too. Oh, and I forgot. He's also a raging gambler. I mean, this guy has nothing to his name because he's achieved absolutely nothing in life. And yet any money he gets, it's either blown on cigarettes or alcohol or gambling. He's got to get his numbers every week. If we go to a restaurant that has like Keno or something, he's there wasting money on Keno. Just constantly wasting money. And I hear something too that's kind of bad for his perspective is at one point I guess he won something like $100,000 or $130,000, some kind of like really good amount of money. I don't know when this was. This would have been years ago, probably in the 90s, because I heard this story through his uncle, and his uncle's like 80, well, more than 80 actually. But yeah, I guess he won $100 and something thousand, and what did he do? Just wasted it all. I don't exactly know what, obviously, but he wasted it just on dumb stuff. He gave some money away to some people. He probably wasted a lot of it on re-gambling. Oh, let's see if I can get more. And it's just like, if he was smart, he would have taken that $130,000 and probably just straight up bought a house. If this was like the mid-90s, I'm sure you could have gotten a pretty decent house for $130,000. And if you couldn't buy the whole house, I'm sure you could put that would be like a massive down payment. You know what I mean? What were houses in the 90s? Like maybe $150,000? So you'd have $20,000 of a loan that he'd have to get. And if it was a 30-year loan, that's like what? $300 a month would be his mortgage? Pfft, that's simple. But nope, instead wasted it all like an absolute idiot. Or if he didn't want to buy a house, he could have at least invested it. Jeez, if he would have put that in the market in the mid-90s, who knows what it would be at now? Maybe it would be at $1 million, maybe close to $1 million, maybe way over $1 million. Who knows? All these years of just compound interest for sitting on $130,000? That could have been huge. And in the 90s, who knows? Maybe when he was building his portfolio, he would have ended up with some stocks that were crap at the time, but ended up becoming awesome. Like maybe some Apple stock, some Amazon stock, some Under Armour stock, whatever else might have been around, but just kind of like a small brand then, which now is huge. So that would really have blown his portfolio up. But no, just wasted it all and still wasted it all. Every time he gets paid on Friday, and it's ridiculous because usually by Saturday he's dead broke. Because he gets paid, he goes, he buys his cigarettes, he buys his dumb nips, and then wastes tons on gambling. I mean, I know around Christmas time, I don't remember how he got it. He had $300, and he spent like 100 of it just on gambling. And it's not even real gambling. It's not like he goes to the casino and has that whole experience, and it's kind of like a fun day thing. No, it's just like go to Cumbies and buy the ticket and he doesn't buy scratchers. He just buys tickets and does Keno and stuff like that. But $100 on that is ridiculous. And then, to top it off, the irony is he'll waste all his money on the dumbest stuff that brings no benefit to him at all. Hey, let me just keep wasting money on these lottery tickets. Maybe I'll win. Yeah, chances are like, what, 1 in 5 trillion? Maybe I'll win. Keep doing that. Keep buying cigarettes. Those are healthy and doing great for you. Keep buying that alcohol. That's making your life better. But then, like, if we want to go out to a restaurant or go out to Dunkin's even and just get a coffee and stuff, He's always like so anti that. Oh, that's what a ripoff. I'm not gonna pay $5 for a stupid coffee. And then everything's always gotta love them Jews. Oh, them Jews, gotta love them Jews. And I'm not even putting his dumb quote on blast because he says it in public all the time out loud. And sometimes it's kind of awkward. We'll be in a store, gotta love them Jews. Just yells it out like he has Tourette's or something. But yeah, but all that's Jews. Oh, you can't go to eat because Jews. Can't go to Dunkin's and get a coffee because, oh, Jews. I'm not paying $4 for a coffee. Ugh. But, oh, we can go to the package store and drop however much we drop there. That's cool. Oh, we can spend $100 on a lottery ticket, which ends up being a complete loss and you win nothing on it. That's fine, right? But a coffee that you would actually enjoy and be able to drink and sit there and chat with the group that you're with while we're sitting there all enjoying our coffees. No, that's terrible. I don't want to have an experience that actually puts my money to any kind of value. No, I just want to literally throw it away. Give it to the lottery fund so that way then the jackpot can get higher for whoever does win, because I know it's not going to be me. Ugh. It's so stupid. And then I think about that too. I'm like, I know he doesn't make a lot of money because, like I said, he works at McDonald's and he works, 12 hours a week just about. So, his take-home pay is probably like $270. Probably can claim 0 on his tax returns. So even if he does, maybe he's pulling in like, what, $350 or something? I don't know. Minimum wage, $16.35 times 12, whatever that is. But it's like, all the money that he wastes, if he would just stop wasting that and saved it, he'd actually be kind of well off, relatively speaking, compared to like the average American who's in debt. If he stopped wasting all his money on gambling and actually did a sure thing and just saved his money, because, gambling's not a sure thing. He keeps wasting money, just throwing it away. And even if he does win, he just re-throws it away. You know what I mean? It's not even worth it if he wins. Like, that might be what that 300 was. He might have won the lottery and got $300. But still, he puts 100 right back into it. So his winnings really are only 200. Which, okay, fine. He used that towards, I think we went out to dinner once. He paid. And I think he got himself a new pair of shoes for work. So, okay, that went to something good. But he still wasted 100 of it back into the system. So maybe instead of wasting his money on pointless gambling that's, yields him nothing, if he would just save that, he'd actually have some money. Think about it. If he spends, I don't think this is the case, but just for easy numbers, let's say he spends $100 a week on gambling. If he saved that 100 instead of wasting it every single week, at the end of the year, he'd have $5,200. He'd actually have something to show for instead of absolutely nothing like he currently has. Like, it's just so dumb. And I get it. Sometimes if you have an addiction, it is a little bit difficult. Like, for me, my problem is, Dunkin' coffees. I don't know what it is. It's not a caffeine thing. It doesn't help me. If anything, I drink a coffee and then I get sleepy. So I'm not like these people are like, oh, I need a coffee to get going. That's not it. And it's also not like the caffeine. Some people are like, oh, I have a headache, I need a coffee. That's not me either. I don't get headaches or anything. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about it. It's like, I like how it tastes. I like how... I don't know. It's just like a routine, too. I go right before work. It's like a place to make a quick pit stop, get a drink, go to work. It tastes good. And I'm like, I got to quit, though, because I know it's not doing anything good for me. These stupid coffees are making me bulky. I look in the mirror all the time, and I'm like, oh, my God, this is disgusting. And I'm like, I always think about it. I'm like, what is even happening to me? Why am I getting so bulky? And I'm like, that's the one thing that's changed in the last 5 years. Prior to that, I didn't really drink coffee that much. Then I started at this job now, and for some reason, I started going to Dunkin's, and I go like every day, and boom, now I'm bulky. I'm like, it's Dunkin's. Dunkin's is the problem. I need to quit. Or at least cut it back. Maybe not quit, but, just go on like Fridays or something, 1 day a week, not 5. So I get it when you have a problem. Or me with GameStop. I'm ridiculous with video games, and I think about this all the time. I'm like, why do I bother buying games? I don't have time to play them. I'm super busy. I barely play my games anymore. I play with my daughter, but by myself, I play maybe for 10 hours a year by myself. And yet, here I go. I keep buying games, spending hundreds of dollars a week on games and all this. And I'm like, what's the point? I'm such an idiot. But at the same time, in my defense, at least what I'm wasting my money on is something tangible. I might buy a game and never play it, but at least I have it forever. I physically have the game in my collection. I could look at it, maybe not play it, but I can still look at it, and it's there. 2, there's a potential chance that maybe some of these games I buy could be worth something in the future. So it kind of becomes an investment. Maybe it wouldn't be a huge investment, you know. I mean, it's going to take like a super rare niche game that actually blows up in price. I don't think I really buy super rare niche games, but you never know. I mean, let's take a look at Super Mario Land 3D World and all that, whatever it was. The one that came out on Switch, the All-Stars Super Pack thing. When that first came out, I think it was $65 because it was like some kind of anniversary celebration thing, so they jacked up the price a little bit. But for some reason now, it's $120. The thing's doubled in price. Granted, it's not a lot. It's not like it's, you know, $50,000. Like, whoa, good thing I have this game. That's cool. But still, it's doubled in price. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's sort of an investment. I did buy that game new when it first came out, and now that game, I guess, is worth $120. So my investment has doubled, essentially. You know? I mean, I don't look at it that way. I buy video games just because I'm a collector. I like having it. I don't care what it's worth. But if you looked at it from that perspective, an economic perspective, then yeah, you know, my investment doubled in value. So there's that. And then the other thing is, you know, I make, compared to him, a lot more money. You know, I make probably about 4 times as much per week than he does. So if I go and waste $100 a week at GameStop, it's a much smaller impact to my bottom line than it is for him to go and waste $100 a week on gambling. You know, when he only has $300 to begin with, and he's spending a third of it on lottery tickets. Where me, I'm spending like a 1/12 of what I make on video games. So it, you know what I mean, the cost impact, the opportunity cost, whatever way you want to look at it or whatever you want to call it, is much significantly reduced, or however, whatever phrase I'm trying to look for me, than it is for him. You know, and again, like I said, I actually have something. Like him, he buys lottery tickets and doesn't win. So he just straight up, he could have just taken a $100 bill and put it in the trash. It would have been the same exact thing. And then when he buys his alcohol, I mean, it's not like he's drinking at a party with other people and having a good time. He just does it by himself for no reason. Cracks open 5, sucks them down, and now he's wasted. And that's how he wants to spend his day. Just completely plastered and wandering around the town, wobbly, falling, drunk, obnoxious. And it's just like, all right, that's cool. And the cigarettes, all that's doing is, you know, giving him health issues. Because, I guess this is a transition time for that. Recently, he did have health issues, probably back in January, I would say. He was having an issue where he couldn't breathe good. Like, not at all. And my mom had me take him to the hospital. And he stayed there overnight. And I guess it was determined that he had COPD or something like that. So after this diagnosis, he kind of straightened himself out. It was like having that health scare made him scared, actually. He quit smoking. He wasn't buying his dumb nips anymore. He was actually, like, doing better. He was kind of eating a little bit more often than he does. So he was getting more nutrition. Like, it turned things around for him to have that COPD, I can't breathe scare. And then it was like, I don't know. More recently, he started picking up more hours at work. You know, like I said, instead of 2 days, he's doing 5 days. And he got Social Security. His Social Security started in, I think, February. So he's been getting it for 2 months now. And so now he's got tons of money compared to how he was living. And now he's back to how he was. First, it started with the cigarettes. He bought cigarettes. He didn't buy any of the dumb nips, though. Just cigarettes. And that lasted for like 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, he had the dumb nips. And then just full on back to his old ways. He had the dumb nips. He's back to having his chocolate marijuana bars, smoking all the time. Just back to his absolute detriment to his health ways. And just super fast, just boom, crashed. He was doing great. And then boom. 6 months about, he was doing good or so. Maybe not 6 months. I don't know. If it was back in January, I guess it's only 4 months, but it felt like a lot longer. But yeah, and then just threw it all away once he had money. And it's like, you're such an idiot. Anyways, and now this brings up what I started in the beginning, is why do people want to be losers? So not only is this guy a massive loser in every regard, but he keeps going through these spells where he's just being a total loser, being an alcoholic and all this. And it just causes problems for my mom. So she already basically evicted him from her place back in, I don't know, probably a year ago. Just about exactly a year ago, actually, at this time. It might have been last May. So depending on when you listen to this, at the time of recording, it is April 14th today. So 11 months ago, I guess, she kicked him out of her place. because of his alcoholism. The cops were over all the time. Well, yeah, I remember this too. There was one day after work, I came home and she asked me to come downstairs because he was just being like overly aggressive. He was wasted. He was like threatening her with physical violence, both with like his body, like punching her and stuff. And then at one point she says he had a knife. Now I don't think he was being overly aggressive with the knife. I think he just kind of had it for whatever weird reason. He's drunk, so he doesn't even know what he's doing. So I think he just kind of ended up with the knife, and then he was going on some dumb rant towards her in his dumb drunken stupor. But she sees this. He's drunk. He's probably yelling at her his dumb nonsense like he always does, and then he's also standing there with a knife, and she's just like, ugh. So anyways, she had me, when I got home from my second job, just go to her place, so that way then I could be there to, like, I don't know, protect her, I guess. I don't know why she didn't just call the cops, why I had to go protect her, but yeah, that's what basically happened, and I was there for an hour and a half that night, so I got there at like 9 and didn't leave until 10:30, because basically she wanted me to be there until he finally, like, passed out. And then basically around 10:30, he wasn't passed out yet, but he was kind of, like, calming down. I don't know if he was just running out of energy. He is in his 60s. It was 10:30 at night, so, that's kind of late for a guy that age. So I don't know if he was just running out of energy. I don't know if he was kind of sobering up, so he wasn't as in a violent drunk rage. I don't know, but it was kind of slowing down, so she was like, okay, I think you can go now. I should be okay. If not, I'll just give you a call. Because, see, here's the thing. We live in the same building. I own the building, and my mom is one of my tenants. So, we're in the same building. So, I mean, it would take me 2 seconds to get to her unit if need be, But, anyways, yeah. So, yeah, I remember that. That was towards the end of May I had to do that. So, maybe it was early June she kicked him out then. Because it had to have been shortly after that. But, anyways, technically at that time he was my tenant, because when my mom moved in I put her and him on the lease. But then after she kicked him out that first time, I updated the lease, because I was like, you know what, I don't want him here. And I thought that it would help encourage my mom to not have him come back if I updated the lease to say it's just her. So I did that right away, updated the lease, gave her a copy, and I have the copy. I don't know if she signed it. I think she did. She should have. I hope so. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so he was out. Well, then she started having him come back around again, maybe like, I don't know, a month later or something. But her thing was, oh, he's not living here. He's just here to hang out, just some company. I don't want us to be enemies. I just can't stand it when he's drunk. So I don't want him living here with me. But when he's sober, he's nice, and I like his company, blah, blah, so fine. That's how it started. But then, like, 3 weeks later, she basically had him moving back in. And it was like, what the heck, lady? I even modified the dang lease thing, but from my angle, he's not my tenant. So that's all that matters. I don't have to worry about evicting him because he's not my tenant. He's not on the lease. He's not my tenant. He agreed to move out on his own. So that means when I updated the lease to say that he's not my tenant, that's fine. I didn't have to get eviction. He moved out. He voluntarily moved out, which means when I updated that lease, it was implied that, yes, I'm no longer your tenant. I moved out. And then my mom remained. So she was my tenant still. So anyways, when she let him move in, basically that means that he became her tenant more or less, and so he would pay her rent rather than me, because obviously he's not my tenant. So he was paying her rent to stay in her place, and then at the end of the day she pays me rent. But yeah, so anyways, that's been probably since, I don't know, late June maybe? So it's been almost another year, but yeah, now he's back on his dumb drinking nonsense, so my mom's re-kicking him out. And I hope this time it's a lot more serious, because I really don't like dealing with this when he's drunk. Because here's the thing. When he's drunk, he's literally two different people. It's so weird. When he's sober, he's fine. He's a little annoying here and there. He likes to talk a lot. And sometimes he'll say stupid things. And I don't mean stupid like he makes rude comments or whatever. I mean, he says things that are just like, you don't care about it. To him, it's like important, and that's why he wants to talk about it. But to you, you're like, all right, I don't really care about this topic, but sure, I guess we can talk about this. So, but that's when he's sober, and he's fine otherwise, whatever. A lot of times, too, he'll be quiet. If he's sober, if he goes to a restaurant with us or something, for the most part, he just kind of sits there. He's just quiet. He's fine. But when he's drunk, holy crap, he's an exact 180. He gets loud. He's very annoying. He gets kind of bossy. Like, he thinks he's going to tell you. like at the house. He thinks he's gonna tell me. It's like, bro, shut the F up. This is my house. Don't try to tell me how things are gonna run here. You're not even my tenant. Don't forget that, dickhead. But yeah, and then he also gets violent, like I said, how he was kind of like threatening towards my mom that day. And then if he's outside and say I get home, for some reason he always wants to like try to come pick a fight with me or something, and I hate it. He'll run up the driveway. Well, he doesn't really run because he's all stumbly because he's completely wasted. So he stumbles up the driveway, and then it's like he's ready to try to start a fight with me. He'll get aggressive. He starts like talking through his teeth, like that kind of aggressive. And then he like tries to like goad me into hitting him. Like he says things about me like fighting him, but the way he does it, it's so weird. It's like, it's almost like he wants me to beat the crap out of him, and he's like, won't do anything in return. Is almost like what the underlying implication is. Like, yeah, come on, hit me. I'm not going to do anything back. Just hit me. But he doesn't explicitly say that. I wish I could think of the ways he says it, but it's just so weird. It's like he tries to get me to like start a fight with him, and it's just so weird and obnoxious and annoying. And I hate it because it's like, I work a lot. Usually when this happens, it's late. It's 9 o'clock at night. I've been at work, between my two jobs for 13 hours or so. I leave at 7 in the morning. I get home at just about 9, 8:45, 9, somewhere around there. I'm not interested in some dumb drunk guy running up on me trying to make me start a fight with him. But yeah, and then like I said, he gets annoying. He says a lot. He gets very rude. He says a lot of dumb, rude things all the time. He does things without thinking all the time. And he also, like I said, tries to get bossy, tries to tell you how things are going to go, all the time. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Oh, that's not going to work. You can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, can you just shut up? Like, you're not even in a proper state of mind right now. You don't even really know what's going on. You're half with it right now. You're going to tell me that something's not going to work? Shut your stupid mouth. And don't shut it around a nip bottle. Just shut it with nothing in it. But yeah. So that's why my mom can't stand him, because it's just annoying. You think she wants to deal with that almost on a daily basis? Deal with someone who's just going to be like way overly aggressive towards her, trying to start a fight over everything, try to be like physically aggressive and all this. Like, no, nobody wants to deal with that. I hate dealing with it for 5 minutes in the parking lot, or driveway, I mean. I can only imagine what it's like for her to have to deal with it all night until he either goes to sleep or sobers up. Like, that's just annoying. And yeah, and like I was saying with like how he does dumb stuff without thinking, like he'll just like one time we were talking about trimming this bush that I have, this hedge bush. It splits me and my neighbor's yard. I think it's my hedge. I don't really know what the situation is, whose that really is. I take care of it though, because the neighbors don't, so I'm like, whatever, I'll just take care of it. Now it's my bush, I guess, because I take care of it. But there was a lot of like wild things growing in there. There was vines in there, and there was some other like weird growth in there. It wasn't really part of the bush. So what we wanted to do as a family is take like a Saturday to kind of clip it and trim it up and get the invading the vegetation out of there and just keep the hedge. Well, it just we didn't have time to get around to it. It must have been because either like we had plans or it was raining or something, so we didn't get around to it. So one day when he was drunk, he took it upon himself to just go. Actually, it was the same day that my mom had me go downstairs. He had gone through and just butchered the F out of that hedge. Absolutely butchered it. Chopped it all up and just left the branches and stuff all over the driveway. And it's just like, what the heck, you dickhead? Like, yes, we had the plan to do this, but we wanted to do it intelligently. Okay? Not have you just come along and just hack it all up and then leave it all over the driveway for someone else to clean up. I mean, it was just a mess. I go to turn in the driveway and I'm looking at it like, what the F is what happened here? What is all this? I mean, at first I couldn't really tell because it's dark, and I'm just like, what is in the driveway? Then I see its branches and I'm like, what happened? Was it really windy out here? And then I start to put two and two together. I see that the hedge is all kind of like really thinned out, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know what happened. I'm like, this dickhead. So there was that. Or another time, same thing, the hedges. This is more recent. I want to clean out the ground where the hedges are. Like, there's a lot of leaves and other buildup in there from the years. No one ever cleaned that area out. So it's just a mess full of like old dead leaves and stuff. So I want to clean it out, but I wanted to do it intelligently. I wanted him to leaf blow, but like me and my mom and stuff there, so then we can kind of like sweep it up and all that as he blows it out. So then it's nice and neat. It's just one neat uniform project. Nope. He's drunk. He goes and takes it upon himself to just leaf blow all that and blow it all over the place. And yeah, then I come home, same situation. Now I see leaves all over the driveway, and I'm like, come on. I mean, at least the leaves didn't bother me as much, because I was like, well, one, we did have plans to do this. And I'm like, and two, at least it's only leaves. It's not like all these big, bulky branches. Some of them were huge, too. They were like small trees. Like, trying to drag those out of the driveway was kind of difficult because they're big, slightly heavy. At least leaves are just leaves. Like, whatever. I can, sweep that up whenever. Who cares? But, yeah, it's just, he just gets ridiculous when he's like that. And nobody likes it. And so, yeah, that's what I don't get, though. Why he always does it. Why, what is even the benefit of why he always does this? Nobody likes it. We all make it very clear that we can't stand him when he's drunk. We can't stand him when he's been drinking and all this. But, yeah, keep doing it. My mom's now kicking him out again because of how he acts. But keep doing it. Like, what benefit is it bringing you? Literally nothing. There's no benefit at all. You're going to be homeless now because you're an idiot. Like, what did Yeah, let's just keep doing it, though. I'm pretty sure he is still doing it. Like, my mom's been in the process of kicking him out. And just think about it, Sunday, he was drunk again. Like, he's in the process of getting kicked out and still can't try to fix his ways. Like, oh, man, I can't. Okay, I'm sorry. Please don't kick me out. I won't drink. I don't want to be homeless. Nope, okay, well, I guess I'll be homeless because drinking is so important. Acting like a total dickhead every day is so important. I don't know. I just don't understand the logic. It just seems like he's throwing away a perfectly good situation that he has. For what? For alcohol? How does that make any sense? I can't stop drinking. Well, I mean, I guess that almost sounds normal. Like, well, yeah, for a raging alcoholic, then that would be what you'd say. But you know what I mean? It's like, my prospects are homeless, or I have a home and a decent quality of life and stuff, and I just give up alcohol. What makes even less sense is he is able to do it because he's pretty much poor. Like I said, he has nothing. He never amounted to anything in his life. He's 60-something years old now and amounted to absolutely nothing in the course of his entire life. And so, he works, like I said, at McDonald's, and he gets his Social Security, which he opted to go for Social Security as one lump sum per month, and I think it's only like $1,000 because, again, he never did anything with his life, so it's not like he put into the system or anything, so he's not going to be entitled to a whole big stash of money. So, but anyways, prior to him having Social Security, he was basically poor all the time, working 2 days a week at McDonald's. His money would have to go towards, whatever my mom asked for his portion of rent, and maybe some supplies like food or toiletries or something, and then there's no money left. 8 hours a week at McDonald's after taxes is probably like what, $200 take home, maybe a little more, $250. I don't know. Minimum wage is a lot more than what I'm used to when I was working minimum wage. So, but still, so when he was dead broke, he wasn't drinking, and he was just fine. He wasn't having like any weird withdrawals or anything. Didn't have to go to the hospital because of alcohol withdrawals. Also, like I said, he had his little scare, his health scare, and he voluntarily, regardless of not having money, he voluntarily gave up cigarettes and alcohol. No problem. So it's not like I'd say he's addicted, I guess. He's been smoking forever. He drinks all the time, but it's not like at that extreme level that he's actually addicted and needs it to like just function. He can quit just fine when he feels like it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how does choosing alcohol over your home win? How is having a home less important than being able to get totally wasted? I don't get this. And what's even dumber is, it almost seems like every time my mom gets to these stages and she's frustrated with him for his drinking, he just ups it and gets worse. And it's like, why are you getting drastic and exponential? Like, shouldn't you go the other direction and like get yourself in check? I don't get it. It makes no sense. It's like, this all started, I think, on a Thursday. He got his money. He got that Social Security, so he went out and got a little bit. I think he had, like, I don't know, a bottle of Jack Daniels or some nonsense that my mom found in his jacket. And I think he had his stupid chocolate bar, which he doesn't eat the chocolate bar all in one shot. He nibbles on it here and there. So that stupid thing lasts him. I don't really know how long it lasts him, but, relatively speaking, it lasts him. But anyways, so she found that, and that's what kind of started, because she told him before, if I ever find this stuff, I'm not dealing with this, so you're going to have to go. So she found it, confronted him, and instead of him, making the right choice and be like, okay, I know I'm an idiot, I was hoping you wouldn't find it, I just had a weak moment and went to the package store. It was right there, and I'll take a turn in there. Nope. Instead, Friday, he goes out, acts even worse. Now he's really going on a bender, being out all night. From what I understand, did he even work that day? He might have worked. So he worked his 6 to 10 shift and then was just out all day and half the night. I think he showed up at home at 10:30 or some nonsense. And mind you, he doesn't have a car, like I said. He just has a bicycle bike, not a motorcycle, bicycle. So he's just wandering around town on a bicycle all night just to be an idiot. And then this continued again on Saturday. And then I think by Sunday he was running a little low on money. So because it wasn't happening as aggressively. He still left early in the morning. He left on that Sunday at 8:30 in the morning to go get wasted. But I think he was back a little bit early because he didn't have too much money, so he couldn't just be dicking around all day like he was the past few days. But it's just you know what I mean? I don't get it. It's so it's beyond stupid. There's literally zero logic in acting like that, especially at his age. You'd think you'd know better. That's something a dumb young 20-year-old does. Not a 60. What is he? 63, I think. Year old, whatever he is, he's old enough to get Social Security. So it started for him this year. So how old do you have to be to get that? He finally made that age. I don't know. But anyways, all of this is just a super huge preamble just to kind of vent about something dumb that he said to me. So going back to Sunday now, like I mentioned, Sunday I was helping my mom with some stuff. She's trying to clean out her place, and she had a couple of large items that she wanted to get rid of. She didn't actually really get rid of them per se. She gave them to me. So yeah, she doesn't have them anymore, but I do. But they're just not in her area. So it was a chair and just in her old bed. She always complained about that bed after it's not even old. I say old. She's had it for a year exactly. That's her new bed technically, but she said that it's never comfortable for her. She misses her old mattress, even though that one was old and dead. But this new one just wasn't right for her. So she's working on getting a new bed. And yeah, just gave me the old one. I've been thinking about an upgrade for a while anyways. So this was cool. And it was free. I thought she was going to charge me something. Probably not full price, but maybe a few hundred. But she just gave it to me. So I was like, okay, that works too. I mean, because, mattresses are expensive. And that's a queen size bed. So it had to cost enough, at least $1,000. For free, it's okay, I guess I'll take it. That's cool, thanks. Like I said, I thought she was gonna want a few hundred, maybe half, at least 500 or something, not just straight up free. Hey, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying though. But anyways, so yeah, I helped her with that. And also, I know I might have inherited this stuff, so you're like, oh, you didn't really help her, you just wanted it. No, she really wanted to get it out. And she even called me hey, are you coming over to get this stuff? Because I want to get this done. It wasn't me hey, Mom, you ready to give me this stuff? Because personally, I wasn't interested in doing it because I knew it was going to be a lot of work and it would be difficult. And it sucked. It was quite a workout to get this stuff out of her place and then transport it to my area. Ugh. But anyways, so she probably called me, I don't know, maybe right around 10, a little tiny bit after 10 in the morning. And then I think I got to her place around 10:20 or something to get started on this. And so probably maybe 20 minutes after that, he's coming wandering down the street now. He's coming. First you heard him. I don't know who he was talking to or what, or if he was just doing his usual, basically treading when he's half drunk. I don't know what the situation was. But you heard something that he said or a noise he made, whatever. And so then we were like, oh, he's coming. And then my mom saw him and said, oh, look who's coming, to me, not to him. And I don't think I said anything. I just thought, yeah, I know. I heard him. Ugh. But then she was joking to him. And she said something like, oh, now you show up. You should have been here like 20 minutes earlier. We could have really used your help. Because we moved the mattress first, so that was like a pain in the cock. I mean, it's me and my mom. My mom's like 60, and there's me. So basically, it was me moving a queen-size bed by myself with no equipment. You know, I feel like maybe if I had straps or something, it'd be a lot easier to move by myself. No, it's me just trying to grip the sides of the thing where there's barely anything to grip and trying to do this. So, but anyways, yeah. So then his dumb response was something, I don't remember exactly. And I know I'm going to butcher it, so I'm going to just try to say the general gist. But he said something along the lines of like, well, I didn't know when you guys were going to do this. Plus, you know, I don't know when he's going to get up either, meaning me. I don't know when he's going to get up either. And then after he switched, and then he's like jumped over from saying that to saying it must be like 1 o'clock since he's up, 1:30 something since he's up. And, yeah, because, like I said, he gets rude and dickheady when he's drunk. And here you go. It's 10:30 in the morning. He's already wasted. But anyways, so, yeah, when he said that, it was just annoying. Because I'm thinking about all this stuff that I just said all through this preamble. And I'm like, seriously? But I didn't say anything. I maybe had a face. Because then my mom was just like to me, don't say anything, just ignore it. And I didn't say anything to her, but I was thinking, yeah, I know. I am going to ignore it because when he's wasted, there's no point in talking to him. He doesn't listen. It doesn't stick. He doesn't care. So I'm not going to waste my time saying anything, but I'm just going to think it and be annoyed. But, you know, it was just such a stupid comment from him. It's like, basically he's trying to make fun of me because I like to sleep in on the weekends. And it's like, okay, like, first off, that's a normal thing. A lot of people look forward to the weekends to be able to sleep in. Like, why are you going to criticize me? Second off, I know he says 1 o'clock. I don't get up at 1. The latest I usually sleep into is 10. Once in a very great while, it will be a lot later. Like, there's some Saturdays in the middle of winter. I just have nothing that I have to do in the day. And it's cold. There's really no reason to get up and get moving. So I might stay in bed until 11:30 or 12. I think one time this year it was like 12:30 I got up. But even at that, it's not like I'm not awake. I'm still awake by like 10:30. I just choose to lay there and dick around on my phone and stuff. And then I actually get up and functioning at 12:30. But like I said, that's very rare. That was like once. Otherwise, usually 10 o'clock is when I'm up by. I wake up usually like 9:45, and then I'm like, man, I'm not going to go back to sleep. This is stupid. I don't want to get up too late. So then I lay there for a little, and by 10:15, I'm up. So first off, the over-exaggeration saying 1:30, whatever he said, is just stupid. I never get up that late, and I don't think I ever have in my life. Maybe when I worked overnights I did, but that was different. I was also going to bed at 8 in the morning. So getting up at 1:30 was only 6 hours sleep, 5 hours sleep, you know? But anyways, it's just like, and I usually only sleep in on Sundays. Like I said, sometimes Saturdays in the middle of winter, if I have nothing going on, sure. But otherwise, I'm usually up kind of early on most Saturdays. If it's my daughter weekend, I have to be up at least by 8:30 so I can get her. And then if it's not my daughter's weekend, usually I like to be up at least by 9. I know it's only an hour difference than my Saturday time, but it's still, because I usually have stuff on Saturday that I want or need to do, whether it's yard work or something personal that I want to do, you know, or whatever it might be. Even if it's something stupid that I want to do, like go out for breakfast or something, you still got to get up early enough to do that. So, anyways, yeah, so that just annoyed me, because it's like, You're making fun of me because I sleep in basically 1 day a week, which is a very normal thing. And it's just like, you know, sorry I don't get up at, 6 o'clock in the morning like you do every single day for no reason. You know, sorry I also am busy during the week and, don't go to bed until about midnight every day, if not later. A, in part because that's my choice, but B, just because I'm, again, busy. And it's not really, I can't go to bed any earlier. I always have something. If it's the days that I work, there's days that I work from like 7:30 in the morning until 8 at night. But then with my drive time, I'm not home until 9. And then I gotta put away my laundry or do a variety of things so that at the bare minimum earliest, it's like 11 that I could go to bed. Like, sorry, I actually have jobs, unlike you, loser, that works 6 to 10. And then you got the rest of the day to just drink. So sorry, when the weekends come around, I'm actually interested in trying to sleep and relax since I don't have to worry about all my obligations like I have during the week. Also, it just annoys me because it's like, how about you try to do something with your life and put a lot of time and effort in? Again, like I said, I work long days. It's only 2 days a week, but still, those days are long. And there was one period in my life for 3 years straight that I worked every single day because I had 2 jobs. So Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, I used to work all day. I was working from 7:30 in the morning until 9 at night. There was a little period during that time too, probably about 6 months, that I was working until 11 at night, which was even worse on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then, I worked on Tuesday and Thursday, I worked my regular job only, and then on the weekends, I worked my second job. I was doing 70 hours a week between 2 jobs, plus whatever my drive time was. And on top of all that, that's when I was also getting one of my degrees as well. So not only was I working 70 hours a week, plus taking classes online, and I had my daughter, who was a baby at that time that I had to care for. Or I should say, and my daughter was a baby during that time that I had to care for. I was doing all that. And you're going to try to talk crap on me when you work 4 hours a day, 3 days a week? Shut up, idiot. Why don't you try my lifestyle and see how it goes for you? And then maybe you'll want to sleep in a little bit too instead of getting up at 6 in the morning for no reason. Oh, and back to what I was saying too. Sorry, I can't go to bed early like he does. I don't know when they go to bed, but I'm pretty sure it's probably around 9. Oh, wow. Yeah, make fun of me because you go to bed at 9 and then get up at 6. When I go to bed at midnight and get up at 10. I mean, fundamentally, that's the same difference. Isn't it? 9 to 6. No, that's 9 hours, 9 to 6. Where midnight to 10 is 10 hours. It's 1 hour difference of sleep. It's just shifted. So should I make fun of you because you go to bed at 9? Oh, well, it's not like I can plan to hang out with you guys at night because you guys go to bed so early. Also, when I do sleep in on Sundays, it's because I stay up late on Saturdays. It's my 1 day a week, basically, that I get that I can just do whatever the F I want. If I feel like it, I can get up late, and I can also stay up late. And I usually do stay up late. I'm never really doing anything too important. I might just be playing a video game or something, or just watching a movie or whatever, but still, I'll stay up to 1, maybe sometimes 2. So, yeah, if I get up at 10 on a Sunday after I went to bed at 2, that's only 8 hours of sleep. That's normal. So, F you. Who are you to... don't be running your mouth when you don't even know the situation. You're acting like I go to bed at 9 like you do, and I'm getting up at 11 the next morning. Like I'm just in bed for 14 hours, wasting my life away. It's just annoying. And then also, it's just I have plenty enough achievements in life. 3 college degrees. I have a house. I'm working. I started a small business. It's nothing special at all. It's trash collection. I don't have that many customers, but still, I still have customers. I still started that. I made ads and everything, put them around. I attracted a few people. I've even had other inquiries from people that I wasn't able to service just because what they needed help with, I can't do. I'm just a one-man team, and they'd have stuff that's big and bulky and heavy. Well, I can't handle that by myself. So I had to decline them. But still, there's been inquiries and stuff. And I'm also working on trying to start another business. Hopefully something that can become actually global even. Granted, it's going to start small, but over time, if everything goes smoothly, maybe 20 years, I could be global. So if I feel like sleeping in on a Sunday, oh well. Oh, and mind you, I do all this nonsense too, my YouTubes. I got 4 YouTube channels in addition to this one. Well, I guess 3 in addition to this one. 4 total. So, I'm always busy making videos and editing. Editing's even worse. Making videos pretty fun. Editing sucks. And then the worst is making the thumbnail. Ugh. So, I'm also filling up my time with that. Granted, does it yield me anything? No. I barely have any subscribers. I don't get that many views. I can't monetize because how? I don't have any viewers. I don't have any of the requirements to monetize. So, but still, I'm filling up my time with productive endeavors. It's not like I just go home after work and then I watch TV and that's it. Or I just go home and I don't know what else would be useless, play video games. No, I'm doing this crap. I'm basically working for free. I mean, geez, I'm doing video creation, video editing. What would it be called for graphic design for the thumbnails? I mean, granted, most of my thumbnails are pretty basic, so you can't really call that graphic design, but you know what I'm saying. Like, what do you do, dickhead? Oh, you buy you buy marijuana-laced chocolate bars and drink nips. Wow, you're productive with your life. Yeah, you should be making fun of me. Dickhead. But yeah, and like, I don't know, and that's the other thing too, like, he's coming back at 10:30 drunk already, and it's like, you're making fun of me because you think I got up late and you didn't know when I was going to be getting up. Okay, well, at least I didn't get up and think, oh, I should go drinking right away. Oh, what time is it? 8:30? Yeah, I gotta leave to go get some alcohol at 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Like, who does that? Oh yeah, I gotta be totally wasted by 10:30 in the morning because that makes sense. This will enhance my life somehow. Speaking of life enhancement, I don't remember if I said this already or not, but the idiot is always so drunk and just stupid, and especially during his days when he was basically homeless, that like he was falling all the time, stumbling, tripping, falling. So like he's got a bad hip that he's just never gotten taken care of. So he kind of walks like semi-hunched and semi-gimpy, not super gimpy, but there's a slight little, you can see it. One of his feet kind of looks like it like stomps or something. But it's because of his hip. And then now he's got a damaged shoulder because, again, when he started his bender that I was talking about from, Thursday, maybe it was Wednesday he started, I don't know. But, he took it upon himself to go leaf blowing and then ended up tripping on something, fell, and his leaf blower, it's like a standard one, how it's just actually, I don't know if this is standard. It's a backpack style. So it's a backpack. That's where the motor is and all that, and then he's got the hose that connects to his arm. And, he ended up falling, and I guess the backpack somehow shifted or whatever, so it just, like, came down on his arm, or he came down on it, or, I don't know, something happened, but, yeah. Or no, maybe he fell, I think it was just his own weight, but also the backpack shifted, and, like, I don't know. All I know is somehow the backpack was involved, but he fell, landed on his shoulder, and probably fractured it or something. Doesn't go to the doctor, so now he's basically got one arm because the other arm hurts him to move. Like, he struggles to put a jacket on and stuff like that. And so, yeah, back to what I was saying. It's like, where does being an alcoholic get you, you idiot? You're banged up. You're broke. You are homeless consistently because you keep making dumb choices. That's just like one of his friends he used to have. The guy owns a seafood place. And this guy doesn't even want to talk to him anymore because he's just sick and tired of him being drunk and rude all the time. And, I guess, like, the thing that he would try to do is he'd hang out at this guy's seafood place and then, like, try to tell him how to cook the food and stuff. And the guy just got sick of it. He's like, what are you trying to tell me for? This is my seafood joint that I've had for how long now? Like, I think I know how to cook my fish. Like, F off. Leave me alone. Stop trying to tell me how to make my food. I know how to do it. I made a living off of doing it. And so, yeah, he just gets annoying. And then, of course, he probably gets, like, not rowdy, but just, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Haughty or something. So when the guys tell him to leave him alone, he's probably getting, like, pompous now because he doesn't want to hear somebody saying anything negative. So he's like, so then he probably starts getting into it more, saying dumb stuff. Like, I don't know what he's saying. I'm not going to speculate because I've never heard it. But I'm just imagining that he's probably, like, saying dumb things that's just fueling that guy up, making him more annoyed. Like, would you just shut the F up, you moron, and get out of my place? So, yeah, he doesn't talk to him anymore. They're not friends anymore because he's just sick of it. And, like, yeah, so back to what I was saying. You're going to make fun of me about sleeping in, but then you want to go out and get drunk right away. Okay, loser. You have to ride your bike to get alcohol. Wow, that's cool. Make fun of me, though. At least if I was an alcoholic, I have a car. I could go drive and get my alcohol like a normal person, not ride a bike. Idiot. And he's just annoying. I hate that my mom's always hanging out with him. And of course, and actually, let me back up. I'm not saying of course. So I think I said she's in my building. I think I told you that she lives in my building. I own the building and she's one of my tenants. And, this might seem stupid, like, why can't you remember what you said an hour ago? Well, that's because I made this a week ago. Part 1 was a week ago. Now I'm making the rest of this a week later. So that's why I don't really remember. But anyways, yeah, she wanted me to evict him. And I'm like, that's just a difficult situation, because I'm like, first off, how do you even evict just one person? You know what I mean? I wouldn't be evicting the whole tenant. It would tenancy of the unit that she lives in. It's half of it. Oh, I need this one to go. That one can stay, but this one has to go. That's kind of weird. And then second, I'm like, technically, he's not my tenant. I can't evict him. He's not on my lease. He was, and then he voluntarily moved out, so I took him off and updated the lease, gave my mom a copy of the new lease that has him removed. I think I might have a note on the contract that states that he was a tenant and then voluntarily moved out, which is why she's still a tenant but he's not, or something. It's either on the contract, the lease agreement, or I made like a addendum and added that to it or something. But regardless, like, he's not even on my lease. He's not a tenant, so that means I can't evict him. If anything, he would count as a squatter. And I don't know what you have to do about squatters, but I'm sure it's a different process than tenants. So, because tenants would have more rights. They're actually, I would hope they have more rights. You never know. Nowadays, society is so effing retarded that a squatter probably has more rights than a tenant. A squatter probably has more rights than the homeowner, which makes absolutely no sense. But, yeah, so that's what he would count as. Like, if anything, what he is he's my mom's tenant. So even though she's a tenant in my home, my building, he is her tenant because he pays her rent. She charges him rent to be there with her, and I think she also charges him to watch TV. It's just kind of weird, but you know, so that's money that he's giving her. He's not giving me money. He's not my tenant. She gives me money. She's my tenant. So it's like, I can't even evict him. If you want him gone, you have to do it. He is there because of you. I took him off the lease when he voluntarily moved out. So it's not my problem. It's yours. I mean, it's kind of my problem because he's in my building, but at the end of the day, I don't have much say. Like, you know what I mean? Back to what I was saying about how he's not my tenant. If my mom moved out, he's not going to be able to stay there. He's not my tenant. I would have somebody else come in. He has no claim to that unit. He only has any claim because my mom lets him have claim. She lets him be there with her. I don't let him be there. So if she moved out, that's not going to be a default to him. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I'm like, I don't even know if I can evict him. He's not my tenant. And then the other thing is, I'm just like, what's even the point if I did try to evict him? My mom keeps kicking him out and then lets him come back. And it's just ridiculous, and it's a stupid cycle, and it's like, you need to stop doing this. You need to just have him go. He's a problem who will never change. You've known this idiot for 3 years now, and nothing's ever changed. Nothing he's even really attempted to change. Yeah, it seems better temporarily, and then as soon as he gets the opportunity, he's right back to his old ways. So stop being weak or whatever, and just do it. When he's gone, keep him gone. Like, it's annoying because we went through this whole fiasco. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He basically finally was out on Sunday. He didn't show up at all on Sunday. Sunday night, I should say. And he didn't show up, or maybe it was Saturday night he didn't show up. Yeah, I think it was Saturday night he didn't show up. And then he also didn't show up Sunday night. I mean, he showed up Sunday. No, what was the situation? I don't even know. I think he was there on Sunday because that's what my mom was saying, that he left at like 8:30. So that means he was there. I don't know. I think there was a day that he wasn't there at least. Maybe Sunday night. He just never came back. But, you know, Monday he ends up calling her. I know this because she was with me when he called. And, like, she was with me, like, in my car and everything too. So when we get home, who's there? He was, and like she just lets him come on in. He spent the night. I know this because in the morning when I left for work, his bike was outside, right where we parked it from last night. So it's not like he ever left and ended up back early in the morning or something. No, he was just there all night, and it's like, come on. Like, we're making progress on getting rid of this dickhead, and you're going to let him stay now? Why? Just let him go. Move on. It's fine. You don't need him. Like, he's an absolute loser. He offers nothing to you. He's not enhancing your life at all. He doesn't bring anything to the table. He doesn't have, you know, what's he bringing to the table? He has no money. He has no possessions other than some clothes. I mean, I think his most prized possession is like a pair of dress shoes that he has, that he, I don't know, takes out once in a while and like polishes them up. Never wears them, but polishes them up here and there. But otherwise, no possessions, no money, no nice car or something, doesn't have a home. Like, he has nothing to offer. Why do you keep holding on to him? No, her thing is, oh, well, I get lonely, and I sometimes I miss him, you know, because when he's not drinking, he is a really sweet man, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, fine, maybe he is. But when he is drinking, he's an absolute dickhead. He's a total piece of crap, and he likes to drink more often than not. So what are you holding on to when he's sober for? Just let it go. It's not worth it. And the whole lonely stuff, stop making up dumb excuses. Find something to do to fill in your time then. Get a job. Come up with a hobby. You know, like I imagine my mom says she's lonely because she's probably just sitting at home watching TV. And it's like, well, gee, of course you're going to feel lonely when you're not doing anything with yourself. Do something. Get a job, like I said. You know, then you're with those other people. You have a mission to achieve, which is, you know, whatever your job duties entail. You know, or get a hobby. Not something basic either, like scrapbooking, where you're just sitting at home and then you're still going to be thinking about him. No, get a real, like a really engaging hobby. Like, I don't know what. I mean, I really have no idea, but find something that can really, like, something that has progress and something that's mentally stimulating and all this, you know. That way then, the mental stimulation is just so that way then it's like something that you're really engaged with fully, you know what I mean? Not just physically engaged with, but you're mentally engaged with as well. And then it serves as a distraction, so you're not thinking about him. If you're mentally engaged with doing whatever your activity is, then you have less time to be thinking about somebody else because you're too busy focusing on what you're doing right in the here and now, you know? So do that. Or, I don't know, or there's always us, like me and my brother, like, come on, talk to us. I live in the same dang building. You know, have me come down and hang out with you then if you're lonely, or come up and hang out with me or something, or, you know, geez, there's options. She acts like there's just nothing, and, oh, I just need this loser to make me feel better. No, you don't. You practically hate him. Like, why do you keep him around for? So yeah, that's another reason why I'm like, what's the point of even evicting him? Even if he did count as a tenant of mine, what's the point? I would go through all this work, spend all the money that it takes, go to court and all this, get the eviction notice finalized and stuff, just so that way then, a week later she has him coming over? Oh, well, he's not living here, he's just visiting. I mean, I don't want to not be friends with him. I just can't stand him when he's drunk. I can't stand, I don't want him living here with me when he wants to do that. But I want to be able to hang out, watch TV or whatever. Like, no. So it's like, what's the point? Why am I going to evict him? Like, you're going to defeat the whole purpose of an eviction. And it's just going to be kind of stupid. It's going to be embarrassing, kind of, that I go through all this work for it to not matter at all. Hey, I'm glad I evicted this dickhead and he's still hanging out here. And then, like, in summer, they'll be, hanging out on the back door furniture, and then there's me coming around the corner hanging out too, and it's like, hey, well, I got you evicted, but now it looks like we're hanging out on the furniture together, even though you should be evicted and not even here, but alright, that's cool. So why am I going to do that? Why am I going to waste that time and money? It's just, I'm just sick and tired of it. Well, of him, I mean. And, like, it's just annoying because, like, I mean, personally, obviously, I don't really like him. I mean, I've known him for a while, too, because I've known him from my days when I worked at McDonald's. He was a regular customer. He always came in super early. And there was always, I don't fully remember the details of him. I just remember he seemed kind of annoying because he would always follow the maintenance guy around and just talk to him. Talk. And you could tell the maintenance guy wasn't really interested. He'd kind of give, like, boring, generic answers like, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. And you could see on his face that he was just like, oh, I just want to do my job. Leave me the F alone. And he never realized he'd just keep flapping his lips, going on and on and on, being annoying. And so that's what I always thought of him as. That, and obviously you'd see him around town stumbling all the time. So I was like, oh, it's this alcoholic, annoying guy. And then when my mom said that she was talking to me, I was like, what the F? The annoying alcoholic guy? Homeless guy? But, where was I going with that? I forgot now. Talking about an annoying alcoholic homeless guy. Oh yeah, so yeah, I don't really like him. Never really did from the beginning either. You know, I mean, during my days at McDonald's, I would just try to be cordial, and then sometimes I'd see him, like, when I was driving. You know, like I said, he was basically homeless. He'd always be walking around town, so I'd, like, wave at him just because I'm like, hey, it's Doug. You know, I know him. But otherwise, you know, I never wanted to bother with him or anything. Otherwise, I didn't want him to talk to me. I knew how it was with the maintenance guy. I was like, ugh, don't talk to me ever. That seems annoying of a situation to get locked into. But now, just dealing with his drunkenness and stuff all the time, it's like, I don't like him even more. It's just, he's just annoying. Can't stand him. Because I know what's underneath it all. Even when he's sober and he seems okay, it's like, I know what's underneath there. All you need is 2 nips and boom, comes right out. You know, public enemy number 1. So, yeah, like, like, when he talks to me, I don't even really have anything to say, usually, because I don't want to talk to him. I don't have anything to say. He's talking, and I'm just like, yeah. Plus, he's kind of dumb, too. Dumb because he listens to nonsense. Like, he watches CNN and all that all the time. And come on, anybody with a brain knows that CNN is very slanted, propagandist, leftist nonsense. So that's what he thinks all the time, too. He's always trying to talk about news that he listened to, and it's like, ugh, this isn't even the right story, but I'm not going to waste my time explaining it to you, because what's the point? That's what you want to listen to. That's what you believe, even though it's total crap, but sure. So, yeah. And, like, when he talks and all that, I just sit there and try to be cordial. I'll just smile or whatever, but it's just like, I'm thinking, shut the F up. I'm not interested. I don't care about you. I wish my mom would finally stop being stupid and actually ditch you, so that way then I don't have to see you anymore, except for, like, maybe wandering the streets like I used to see. And the only difference now is, instead of throwing you a wave, there'd be no more waves. You lost the privilege of a wave, because I'm just so sick and tired of dealing with you and your just obnoxious drunkenness all the dang time. So, you know, you don't even get a wave anymore. But yeah. So I guess that's it. I just wanted to complain about this dumb alcoholic that I know and just talk about one specific instance that just really annoyed me, just because the overall situation was just dumb. Like, who is this loser to try to criticize me over anything? Over anything? I mean, you literally have no grounds to stand on anything to try to criticize me on. You know, what do you have that's better than me? You have a nicer car? No, you don't even have a car. You got a better job? No, you work at McDonald's 3 days a week. You know, you have money in the bank? No, you don't. And the second you ever get money, you waste it all on alcohol and not scratch tickets, but lottery. Alcohol and lottery. Boom, gone. You know, back to earlier how I said he gets the money from his social security and all that in one lump sum. I think he gets like $1,000 a month. And that little bender that he went on, between his social security and his regular pay, so probably like $1,200 total, he spent that all on alcohol and probably lottery tickets. Because on Sunday, my mom was saying that he already doesn't have any money, already broke. In a matter of 3 or 4 days, he dropped $1,200 on absolutely useless nonsense that will do nothing for him. So yeah, you got more money than me? No, you don't. You have nothing. As soon as you get money, you waste it on stupid stuff. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. I meant to say this. I forgot. Way back when I started this part 2, when I was saying, you know, what's it getting him for being an alcoholic? Like, how is choosing alcohol over a home the better option? That's the other thing. When he didn't come home, like I said, how he didn't come home for a day or two, it's because he was sleeping in a friend's car. Not in the guy's apartment. You know, not in the guy's basement even or something like that. No, in the guy's car. Like, wow. Man, I bet you that alcohol must have been worth it, right? To go from actually having a bed in a home, a nice clean home, where you have a refrigerator, so you have access to beverages and food, and you have access to a microwave and a stove to cook said food and all this, to sleeping in a car. Wow. Man, I bet your drinking's worth it. Yep. Keep buying those marijuana chocolates. Keep drinking. It's totally worth it. It seems to be working out great for you. Yep. It's just so stupid and annoying. I mean, it is stupid, but I feel like the annoyance because I have to deal with it is far outweighs the stupidity. The stupidity is just on his end, like, whatever, you're an idiot, but the annoyance I have to deal with. But anyways, yeah, that's all I got. And it's funny because, just as a quick side note, this is the second video I made about this guy. I made another one that is 2.5 hours long, and I put it on private because I was like, I don't know, my mom's with this loser. I don't want to have something out there on blast, just in case if she ever heard it. Like, she would never hear it herself, but like if my brother heard it and then told her, not to start trouble, but just like, oh, you know what he made? He was making fun of Doug or something. I just don't want, I didn't want it to be out there because I was like, whatever, she's with him. I have to deal with him when they're together. I'm talking crap. But this one, F it, you know, it's been 3 years now. The other one I made kind of like when they first got together. This one's been 3 years. So, you know, if they hear this one, I don't care. It's what I think. He's not, you know, he's nothing to me. He's not my tenant. And like I said, if she moves out, he's gone too. Like, he's nothing. I don't have to see him. Like, that's how easy it is for me to not have to really ever see him anymore. Either she moves out and I don't have to see him, or she just, you know, finally gains some willpower and I don't have to see him anymore. But you know what I mean? Like, he's just, it's not like my brother or something. Like, he's always going to be connected to me because he's my brother. This guy, he's nothing. So I don't care. Whatever. You can hear this. You know you're a loser anyways. So what difference does it make if you hear me saying it on a video or say it, or, you know, you just kind of glean it from how I treat you. But yeah, so that's all. So, and per usual, until next time, I said see ya.